Okay. So we'll come to standing. See if I can get this a little bit higher. That's my incredibly professional setup here at home. Here. Just about see my head. Okay, so just rolling the shoulders out. And changing direction. And then just bringing one arm over, one arm under. Just with the interest of just warming up the shoulder joint. And then extending the arms out. We're just going to turn the palms up and then roll them over. Again, just so the interesting kind of lubricating the joint. And bringing them down, shaking the shoulders out for a moment. Bringing the arms out, palms facing upwards. And we're just bending, touching the shoulders and straightening. Next time that they touch the shoulders, we'll leave them there. And then we're going to bring the forearms in towards each other, round the back. And then open out, open the chest. And then bring them in towards each other, really try to separate those shoulder blades. And then roll out. In and out. In and out. Bringing the arms down. Hands are like this, then you're going to tuck your fingers in, thumbs are going to face out, and then you're going to turn your thumbs in, rounding your back, and then turn your thumbs out, squeezing your shoulder blades together. You can even close your eyes for this. Real subtle movement to strengthen those muscles in between the shoulder blades. Okay, shaking them out. So if you had a belt, you could just use the belt to keep it super gentle, or like a band or anything like that, so that it's kept wide and it's not overstraining. But if you don't, you can just interlace your fingers normally. Interlace them here, and then just draw the hands down. And then release, and then draw again. And then soften and draw. Just to get a sense of that action, yeah? It doesn't even have to be going very far. And then the next one, we're going to draw them down. We're going to keep our knees nice and soft. And we're going to go over and keep that sense of drawing those hands down and away. You can shake the head out a little bit here to release the neck. And then we're just going to let the hands go down and flop. And here you can straighten the legs a little bit, but you can still keep the knees soft. I'm just trying to shake out a little bit of tension. So we're going to roll up by pulling the belly button into the spine, lifting the pelvic floor, and trying to visualize our vertebrae one at a time, uncurving here. And again in between each vertebra. The head will come up last. Okay, and when you get to the top, just take a moment, roll the shoulders back. And now we're going to just think about bringing our right ear towards our right shoulder without any kind of forcing. So our posture stays the same, and we just drop our head to one side. So it's very, very subtle. And just observe even your kind of desire to go further and thus kind of move the body with the movement rather than just moving the head. And then coming back into center, and we'll go down the other side. And again, just seeing if you notice any limitation of movement of the neck here. Because again, what happens with our yoga poses is we compensate with other parts of the body. So sometimes you could actually have quite limited movement in some areas without realizing it. And then back into center. So now we're going to bring our right ear towards our right shoulder again. And this time we're going to take our right hand and place it on the left side of the head. And then lightly push into the hand. You should feel a strong stretch there on your left side. Yeah, just getting into the left trapezius. And gently release. And we'll do the other side, left ear towards left shoulder. Set it up very gently and then take your left hand, place it on the right side of the head and press up into the hand. So you're not kind of pressing to push it down towards the ear, you're going in the opposite direction. Explore this stretch here. Maybe if you press more towards the back, it's in a different area, more towards the front, it's in a different area. And gently letting go, bring the head back in. So now we're going to try to tuck our chin like we're like tortoises and we're going back into our shell. So our head stays neutral. Like we're not going like this. We're tucking the chin back into us, like we're trying to create a double chin. Yeah? And then we're going to take our hand and push, like you've just got two fingers here and you're going to push into those two fingers with your chin. So you probably have a really weird expression like me. And then let it go. And we're going to do that again, like you're drawing your chin back in without dropping the head. And then you're going to take the heel of your hand and press into the forehead. And slowly release. So move your head around freely. These exercises are really good for the neck, but sometimes if we come straight out of them, we might pull something afterwards, yeah? Rolling the shoulders out again. And we're going to go into our sun salutations. So come to the top of your mat. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, lift the head and the chest. Then exhale, walk or step the feet back and lower. Inhale, arch. And exhale, lift the hips up and back. Feel free to make any movements here. And then walk, step or jump forwards. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head to the legs. Inhale, press into the feet, reach the arms over the head. And exhale, arms down by your side. Inhale, reaching up again. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, head up. Exhale, step or jump the feet back and lower. Inhaling, arch. And exhale, hips up and back. Deep breathing here, bringing in sound if you wish. Walk, step or jump forwards, inhaling, head up. Exhale, head to the legs. Inhale, press into the feet, reaching the arms over the head. And exhale, arms down by your side. Last one, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, head up. Exhale, step or jump back and lower. Inhaling, arch. And exhale, hips up and back. And walking, stepping or jumping forwards. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head to the legs. Inhale, press into the feet, reach up. And exhale, arms down by your side. Okay, so next one. Feet can be together or lightly apart. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, fold. Inhale, head up. Exhale, step or jump back and lower. Inhaling, arch. And exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, raise the right leg up. Exhale, bring the foot between the hands. Inhale, keeping up on your back toes. Come up, reach up. Exhale, take your right hand to the back of your mat, left hand forwards. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your hands to the floor, step the foot back and lower. Inhale, arch. Exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, left leg goes high. Exhale in between the hands. Inhale, press into the feet, reach up. Exhale, stretch the left hand to the back of the mat, right hand forwards. Inhale here. Exhale, take your hands to the floor, step the foot back and lower. Inhaling, arch. And exhale, lift the hips, take a couple of breaths. And then looking into that space between the hands, walk, step or jump forwards. Inhale. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, bend the knees, sink deep. Raise the arms up. And exhale, straighten. Okay, so we're going to look at this position a little bit more and we're going to make it harder. So you don't have to make it harder if you don't want to. You can just stay with where you're at because it's hard enough as it is. But if you do want to make it harder, we're going to sink low and then we're going to raise one heel, drop it, raise the other heel, alternate, and then you might see if you can raise both and lower. Okay, I'm just going to give you a few breaths to play around with that. Getting those calves working. Okay, and bringing the heels down. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, head up. And exhale, we're going to step or jump back and we're going to stay in our plank position. Hold it. Find your plank, find yourself really working, yeah? And now we're going to push the floor away to separate our shoulder blades and then come back to a neutral, yeah? And then keep alternating between those two. So press and back, press and back, press and back, press, back. One more time, press and back. Good, and you can come down to the floor for a minute. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at building strength for proper form in Chaturanga. So what could be useful would be, for example, a bolster, or if not a bolster, like a couple of pillows. They just kind of let you know if you're flopping in the belly area, yeah? It just let you know which part of your body is coming down. You could also use like a foam roller, or you could use, if you had enough yoga blocks, you could use the blocks, and you're going to place them along your torso on the ground, yeah? It's going to be there. And we're not even necessarily going to go all the way down to it, but you'll feel it and it'll give you an awareness of what parts of your body are going down first. So we'll set up our plank like before, and now we're just going to play around with first getting our plank, like that we're happy with our plank, which you should be feeling this in your whole body, yeah? And now we're just going to bend our elbows a little bit, but keep them hugging in. And maybe bring our shoulders a little bit forward, and then just straighten again. And straighten. So don't go all the way down. Just bend a little bit, unless you're really solid in your chaturanga, yeah? And I would advise you to look forwards rather than downwards. Just a little bit forwards. Because what I find is people kind of just hunch up when they look down too much. And keep an eye on your elbows, that they're still hugging in. And like I said, less is more. So if you don't go very far, that's okay. Like a little micro bend would be okay. And then if you wanted to go all the way down, that would be fine. You could do, so you can take a break for a moment. And what we could do, actually, if you do have something under you, is we can reverse the movement. So you can be like chilling out here. Really hug, squeeze everything in, and then see if you can come to straight. And then you can flop down. And then squeeze, push, and try to come to straight. Try 5 of those. And remember, form is key. So, you know, don't just do it like the really hard without getting it right, yeah? Do less and do it better. And once you've done 5, that's enough. And pay attention to what's happening in your shoulders. So to keep that alignment of the elbows coming back, we need to kind of shift our weight a little bit forwards when we're going down. And watch that your shoulders aren't dipping either. Hard, yeah? It's hard to do it well. It's easy to do it badly. Like everything in life. Okay, so take a little break, roll out the wrists. All right, so I'm going to come back up to standing. And we're going to do like another kind of variation of a sun salutation. This time we're going to take our right heel to our left knee rather than being straight here, yeah? So we'll stay here for like a couple of breaths, maybe 3 breaths. And then undo that movement, take that leg back, take the hands down, step the foot back, lower. Inhale, arch. Exhale, lift the hips up. Inhale, take that right knee and bring it to that left elbow. Hold it. Then take it back up towards the ceiling. Right knee to left elbow, hold it. Back up towards the ceiling. Right knee, left elbow. 2 more, a little faster. Bring it down, lower, Inhale, arch. Exhale, lift the hips. Other side, left knee to left elbow. Hold. Bring it back. Hold. Bring it back. Hold. Bring it back. 2 more, a little faster. And bring it down. You can take a little child's pose. So you get a little bit of rest off the hands as well. You come back into a downward dog. Walk, step, or jump forwards. Inhale, head up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees. And exhale, straighten. So we'll take our left leg now. Cross that left foot over the right knee and sit. Take that left heel back. Place the hands on the floor. Step back. Lower down. Inhaling, arch. And exhale, lift the hips. Okay. So right leg goes up towards the ceiling. And this time you have a choice where the right knee will either just go in the air into the center, or if the flexibility is there in the spine, you can attempt to bring that right knee towards the left elbow, yeah? So inhale, raise the right leg up, and exhale, choosing to come over into one-legged plank. Hold, inhale, raise up, exhale, inhale, raise up, exhale. 2 more. And breathe. Okay. If you're feeling it in the wrists, roll them out before we do our left side. And onto the left. Inhale, raise the left leg up. And bring it to center or to the opposite elbow. You can do 5 at your own pace. And then lower down. Oh, shoulders. Interlace your fingers behind your back. You're going to lift the legs and lift the shoulders and chest up. Inhale, lift up. Take a couple of breaths here. And then place the hands. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, lift the hips. And then walk, step, or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, head up. Exhale, fold, and we're going to hang here. You can have the knees as bent as you need to. And then taking the hands to the floor, you might be up on your fingertips. I want you to just walk your hands over to the right side. And then just play around with any bit of stretching here. So I like to keep that right knee bent and try to stretch out my left leg. Just play around with sensation. And then walking them back and trying the other side. Walking back into center. Step your right foot back and turn. Bring your hands to the floor, or you might be up on blocks. So feet are nice and wide and parallel. Inhale and then exhale, fold. If you want to do an inversion here, and you're very steady in your inversions with your straddle, then go ahead. Lifting the hips up and over. You can play around with any variations that you feel like playing around with. If you're up in the air, you can make your way back down. And then from here, we're just going to turn our left toes to point them forwards. And we're going to come up into a triangle pose. So slightly wider triangle than our center practice. And then we're going to bend that right leg and take the hand to the inside of the foot for a change. And then you might stretch that arm over or keep it upright. And you might play around with wrapping the arm under the leg and trying to catch with the other hand. All the time keeping strong. Slowly releasing, press into your feet, come up into a warrior two. Turn that foot so you know the poses, so we're just going to turn to the back. First, we're in our wide warrior. So hand is loose or catching the big toe, but not relaxing. Straight legs. And then we're going to bend the knee. The hand can go onto a brick or onto the floor. Lightly placed to the inside of the foot for change. Arm can be up towards the ceiling or stretching over, whichever you feel is most effective for you, which again isn't necessarily the hardest. And then you can play around if you wish, and if it's possible, with wrapping the arm underneath and catching the other hand. It's pretty advanced, so don't worry about it if it's not happening. And then slowly release. Really use the force in your feet to push yourself up and come into a warrior two. And then we're going to straighten that leg, turn the foot so both feet are parallel for a moment. Bring your hands to your waist. And now we're going to bring our heels in a bit. And we're going to squat down a little bit, but not too much. And hold it here. You can bring your hands here if you wish, into a prayer position. Try to sit back a little bit on the heels. Okay, so we can stay here, or we can play with raising one heel and raising the other for ultimate burn. And if you really want to go full power, you might raise both heels and lower. But try to keep it steady and yogic. And you should probably feel a little bit of shake, yeah? And then release, place your hands on your thighs. Create a little bit of traction here. And we're going to make our way down towards the floor. So we're going to bring our heels in a little bit and then squat down all the way. And for those of you who have the heels off the floor, you might want to take little breaks, yeah? And then come all the way down to sitting. Okay, so we're going to look a little bit more at building core strength. Can be one of the most difficult things. But then once you have it, you can develop it. Yeah, you can develop it more. But when the strength isn't there, what tends to happen, it tends to go into the lower back. It tends to go into the neck. So we're trying to build that strength, and then keep building on it. All right, so let's just look at certain little options for this. So it'll be slightly more dynamic than usual. We're going to be here first. So we're just warming up a little bit. Try to squeeze the belly in. And then you might want to explore going a little bit further, but that's up to you. So the more you take your chest further away from your legs, the more challenging it will be. The straighter your legs are, and the more away from you, the harder it will be. So just this little action. And only go as far as it's being productive for you, yeah? Keep squeezing the belly in so it's not going into your lower back. You might feel something in your lower back because your back muscles will be working. And then take a little break. Okay, so for the next one, we're going to be lying down on the floor. And I want you to think about like kind of pulling the belly button in as much as possible. And then bringing the legs up. Yeah? And then bringing the body up and being here. And this is hard, so if you're finding it hard, that's normal. And release, coming down. So we'll just take a couple of breaths and we'll repeat that again. So again, thinking about pressing the belly button in, kind of tilting the tailbone a little bit so you can kind of feel that connection, that abdominal connection. And then bringing one leg up, bringing the other leg up. So they're about 90 degrees, yeah, in both ways. And then we're going to bring head, neck, and shoulders up, so not leading with the head, and holding here. Hold it and breathe. The moment it gets too strenuous, you come out. Okay, so that'll be a different hold for everyone, yeah? So if you have, for example, if you have an injury or if you have some back issues, it might be less. So you just do it for the limit that's right for you. So we're going to do one more of these. Pressing the belly button in, tucking that tailbone a little bit. And then bringing one leg up, bringing the other leg up. And then bringing head, neck, and shoulders up. And breathe. Remember, trying not to lead with the head. It's the abs that you want to be doing the work. And slowly letting go. So you can just sway knees from side to side. Okay, so we're going to do slightly more dynamic movement now. Feel free to just go back and make it slower if you need it to be. I know when I first started doing these, I found I lost the core connection very easily, yeah? And sometimes the speed comes in and our head stops working. And if you have a default to not engage your core, you have to think about it more to do it. So if you feel free to slow it down, I'll just show you the setup. Arms are up, legs are up, they might be a little bit bent, and then coming up, whoop, and down, So there's a little bit of momentum there to kind of help you. But you're kind of trying to keep a dish shape, yeah? So you're squeezing the knees in and bringing the arms forwards. And if you have to set it up again, that's fine. You're trying to avoid a clunk clunk sound. So when you hear a clunk clunk sound, it means that you're not engaged enough in the core, yeah? So your back is arching too much. 2 more. You can rest now. I said 2 more. I don't think Kira heard me. All right. So now we're going to bring kind of like we've done a couple of other classes, a little bit of fun and dynamic movement into it before we lie down, because class is nearly over. So just show you, so you can sit up and take a rest, and you can then try it, yeah? So it's kind of bringing in a little mini pistol squat into the action, the easy part of the pistol squat. So you start on the floor with one knee in and the arms over, and then you come up and try to come up into a pistol squat, switch legs. Keep forgetting which leg, yeah, so if it's too challenging that way, you might try to come up and roll up onto the both feet like we've done in previous classes. Yeah, but if you're kind of been playing around with your pistol squat, go for it. And just a fun way to continue to work a little bit on the pistol squat, but also work a lot on mobility of your hips and everything. Very nice. Yeah, and even if you need to use your hands, as long as you feel like your body is working and it's hard, that's fine, yeah? A little bit of support from the hands is fine. And once you've done both sides evenly, you can come back up to sitting. I'll just take the soles of the feet, bring them together, and just shaking out the knees. Cross the legs. Take the left hand to the right knee and take the right hand behind. Just look over your shoulder, or you might want to wrap that arms, up to you. Slowly coming out. Take the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind or wrapping around the waist. Look over the left shoulder, very lightly without forcing. And then coming back into center, and you can lie down on your mat for relaxation. If you need to put on an extra layer, go ahead. So just taking a moment to settle. With every breath, just letting go of the need to do anything. Just a light awareness of what is happening in the body and in the mind. Making sure that you relax the jaw, the shoulders. Allowing the breath to have its replenishing effect. And anytime you find yourself being caught up with the past or the future, just bringing yourself back to this moment of well-needed rest. And you can stay lying down. I will finish with 3 ohms. And feel free to stay where you are for as long as you need. Om.